Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from US Citizenship Podcast. Today we're going to review the December 29th, 2020 memo from USCIS concerning their Application Support Center's updates. Let's get started. Earlier in December, we posted two videos about biometrics. The first one is dated December 13th, What's Happening with USCIS Biometrics Appointments. In that video, Dr. Patricia Hernandez and I discussed a letter that one of our students received concerning the waiver of their biometrics appointment. The second video dated December 21st, 2020, reviewed more information about biometrics, plus talked about USCIS tools that you can use to check your case status, to check your case inquiry, especially if you've been waiting for a long time, and processing times. Take a look at those videos on our YouTube channel, USCitizenpod. Let's do two quick definitions. First of all, what are biometrics? Biometrics are measurements of a person's fingerprints, eyes, physical features. It can also include other characteristics such as time of keystrokes, things like that. USCIS uses biometrics to correctly identify a person and to do a background check. And people commonly refer to their biometrics appointment as their fingerprints appointment. What is ASC? ASC is an application support center. You go to an ASC or an application support center for your USCIS biometrics appointment. During the appointment, they take your photo and make a copy of your fingerprints. Now let's introduce the USCIS memo December 29, 2020 about the ASCIS updates. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, USCIS has experienced delays in scheduling or rescheduling Application Support Center appointments to collect biometrics. Current processing times are affected by several variables, including demand and capacity at individual ASCs. The information below may help you understand what to expect with your biometrics appointment. USCIS temporarily suspended in-person services between March and June to mitigate or slow down the spread of COVID-19 and to ensure employee and applicant safety. As a result, USCIS canceled approximately 280,000 appointments. USCIS began a phased reopening of their ASCs in July after they installed protective screens and incorporated proper social distancing measures across 132 sites. Let me make a comment here. Some of those protective screens include the plexiglass screens that people see at their appointments, and to set up proper social distancing markers for people who are waiting in line, and also to change the seating in their waiting rooms. Since reopening, there have been sporadic and temporary ASC closures for reasons such as local stay-at-home orders, COVID-19 related cleaning, and extreme weather. From July to September, ASCs were operating below 50% of pre-COVID levels. By late October, USCIS increased ASC operations to approximately 65% of pre-COVID levels. USCIS is working to safely maximize appointment capacities at ASCs and is also reusing previously collected biometrics to conduct background and security checks when authorized by law. So, for example, when a person becomes a legal permanent resident, when they make that application, they also submit a set of fingerprints. So now, with some of those applicants, now that they're ready to become citizens, USCIS is going back and taking a look at those fingerprints that were collected before they became legal permanent residents. Let's continue. Based on capacity limitations unique to each ASC, USCIS has not yet rescheduled all canceled appointments. So this is Teacher Jennifer. This is when you need to use the USCIS tools, especially the case inquiry tool, to say, hey, I've been waiting a long time. It's outside the normal processing times. Please check my case status. So again, become very familiar with those USCIS tools. Let's continue. USCIS is scheduling approximately 10,400 appointments per day. Current state. Approximately 1.3 million applications are awaiting biometrics appointments as of mid-December. Applicants should continue to wait for an ASC appointment notice or a Form I-797 Notice of Action from USCIS indicating that their previously collected biometrics may be used. So this is Teacher Jennifer again. Please check your mail or your email if you've signed up with USCIS to get your notifications by email. Or check your online case status about if you've received for this notice from USCIS. Again, if you've waited outside the normal processing times, use the case inquiry tool to send a notification to USCIS. Let's continue. We're talking about priority of ASC appointments. Biometrics appointments are scheduled based on the prioritization of benefit types, considering adjudication capacity and processing times. So this is Teacher Jennifer. Benefit types means if you're applying for citizenship through the N400, or if you're applying for your green card, or if you're waiting for asylum, those are different benefit types. Let's continue with the USCIS memo. Within a benefit type, USCIS generally schedules appointments on a first in, first out basis. The wait times for appointments will vary geographically based on capacity and varying demand at individual ASC locations. Biometrics reuse. USCIS is authorized to reuse biometrics under limited circumstances, and usually where USCIS must verify an individual's identity and the case is otherwise ready to adjudicate. This is Teacher Jennifer. Both Teacher Patricia Hernandez and I talked about that on our previous videos. And this is where the holdup seems to be that the person has already passed their security clearances. They're just waiting for a scheduling of the fingerprints appointment. So in certain situations where the person's security clearance and background check are clear, they're ready to proceed, but they're just waiting for that fingerprints appointment. They're going to say, USCIS is going to say, hey, we're going to reuse the fingerprints biometrics from the when the person got their green card. Okay, let's continue. If USCIS will reuse the biometrics for a pending application, we will mail a Form I-797 notice to the applicant stating that USCIS will be reusing the applicant's biometrics and that the applicant is not required to appear at an ASC. So this is good news. This means that your case is going forward. Note: not all applications meet requirements for biometrics reuse. Walk-ins. Because of COVID-19 facility constraints, USCIS cannot process walk-ins for biometrics collection except for military applicants and their family members when the principal applicant is scheduled for an appointment. Before visiting any USCIS facility, check the USCIS office closing webpage for current operating status. For more information about USCIS ASCs, visit their ASC information webpage. Tools. Please use the USCIS online tools for help in managing your application and to track the status of your case. So, an easy place to find those tools is uscis.gov/tools. Again, all the URLs will be in the show notes of the video or podcast. Contact information. If you have any questions that are not addressed in your appointment notice, you may connect with the USCIS Contact Center. And the URL for that is uscis.gov/contact center. Again, the URL will be in the show notes. That's it for the updates for the application support centers and biometrics. Special shout out to the USCIS officers who are doing an impossible job in an impossible situation. Together with the applicants, we've got through this year together. I hope you're staying home, staying healthy, and staying strong. Study up for the interview, and I know you will be great new citizens in this great new year. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.